Hi guys, how are you all? So previously we have discussed about the UI in part 1 and now in this part we will fully focus on the API integration. So let's get started. So first of all I will create one more folder for the API stuffs in which my first file will be API services. In that file my first file will be API calls, then API provider, and lastly API utils.dart. So here I will create one class named API utils, and in this file we will declare the API related URLs like endpoints. So first I will write the base URL, okay, and I will copy the base URL from the Postman. I will go to the Postman. I will copy the base URL from here. This current will be fine. I will paste this URL here. Okay, what's the issue? We have to write this URL within the quotes. Okay, now the error has gone. Now we will go to the Postman and I will demonstrate you the APIs first. We will create one user with the email ID demo1@gmail.com and password will be demo. Now let's log in with the same credential in the Postman. Password will be demo. Okay. So username or password does not match. Why it is coming? We will go to the student login URL. Okay, here email ID is wrong, so we'll correct this email ID. Okay, now the error is null, which means our API is working. So now we know the endpoints for the login and register. So let's write these endpoints in our API utils file, and also there is one unt thing, so that is common for all the APIs. So we will include that also in the base URL. Cool. So similar to the login, we will also write the register. We will go to the Postman and confirm the endpoints for the login and register. Okay, we will copy the same for the register, and for the register the endpoint is save student. So now come to this API calls file. We will write our all types of methods like login, register, student, issued, and much more in this file. So right now I will write the class name only. So before diving into the API calls file, let's write a basic structure for the APIs. So this is my API provider file, and I will extend this with the change notifier, and we will call this in the main.dart file later. First the required thing is base URL and then the HTTP client. We have to import this package, this HTTP package as HTTP. Import package HTTP as HTTP. I think we don't have the package, so we have to install that package from the pubspec.yaml file. So we don't have the HTTP package. So just press Ctrl Shift P and click to the Dart dependency and write the package name. You are good to go. So now here will be final http dot client, http client, and then we will make this field required. We will make this field required final CS. Okay, that's it. Now next step what we have to do is that we will make a post request method which will be a type of future http.response and we name it as post response. So the required thing for us is the API endpoint first. API string endpoint, and then headers, which is of type map of string comma string headers, and copy paste this same thing, and we require body which will be string comma dynamic. Cool. Okay, so next step will be our URL. So we will write final URI is equal to this will be our base URL. So we have to write URI dot parse base URL API utils. Like first we'll write our base URL which we have already written in the API utils file, and then the endpoint. Yeah. So and also now we have to define the headers. So I will write final map of string comma string headers is equal to. So for us we only have the content type which is application/JSON content type application JSON. Okay, semicolon is missing. Now next step will be writing our JSON body. So this is very main step, as this is a post method and we are encoding our body if it is not null. Okay, so final string JSON body, if body not equal to null, then we will encode this JSON. We will encode this body otherwise it will be an empty string. And let's after that let's try to print the response. First we will write this response is equal to await http dot post URI will be our URL, headers will be our headers, and body will be request data. Body will be our JSON data. So we will print this response. This will be response.body. Cool. Okay, so now let's try to write our first API call which will be useful for handling the login part. So we will go to our API call file, API calls. Okay, so now our first API call will be handling the login part. So future of void handle login, then it will require a build context first, so that we can show some snack bars for a good user experience. That's why we are asking the context here, build context, and then we need an email and password. Okay, so let's try to hit this API. Okay, so it is working. Okay, so now we have to access our API provider class for the API methods, like the one we have already created, which is post response. So for that we will write final API provider is equal to provider dot of context, and then we specify the type of the provider, API provider, and we'll make the listen to false. Okay, so for that post response we need to pass the body, like which will contain our email ID and password. Okay, so we have to write here the body name will be request data. So this will contain our email ID and password. So we'll copy the email ID from the postman, email ID and password. Okay, and last step will be have to pass this body and header in the post response, and we'll access the login endpoint with the API utils.login. Okay, so final response is equal to await API provider dot post response. First will be our endpoint, so it will be API utils.login. Easy, right? Okay, we only have to pass the endpoint here, and headers will be content type application JSON, and body will be request data. Okay, body have to pass after the curly braces, body request data. Okay, so what next? So, and here is the last step. We will check whether our status code is 200 equal to 200 or not. Okay, so I'm checking response dot status code is equal to 200, then final map of string comma dynamic response body is equal to decode, and what we have to decode, response dot body. And also suppose if status is equal to failed, so for that we will write a print statement called fail to login. Okay, so if response body status is equal to failed in caps, So we will simply print fail to login. It will be visible in the console. And let's print the body also. User ID will be response body, or else we can write body is response and it will be dot body. Okay, let's try to run this. Okay, first of all we will create an instance of API call, and after that we will simply call the handle login function on the login button. Okay, we have to pass after the form key validation API call dot handle login, and we have to pass the email and password. Email dot text, which is our controller, and password dot text. Okay, let's try to hit the login button. Okay, now there is a big error showing up in the console, which is coming from the dart.html import. So I have to remove that dart.html import. Yeah, and I will restart my application. Why this error is showing up here? Okay, let's try to restart our application again. Okay, we'll simply restart the application. Okay, I guess there is no issue. Comment down if you face any issue. Okay, I am restarting my application. Okay, now the error has gone and I'm writing password demo1 login. So, oh sorry, we have not yet initialized our provider package. So we will go to our main.dart file and wrap up this screen util with multi-provider, and which gives a property called provider. So from that we can initialize our provider class, which is API provider. Okay, it will require a base URL and HTTP client. We have already seen this. Base URL, which will be API utils dot base URL and HTTP client. Let's import the HTTP package. Import package HTTP as HTTP. Okay, here will be HTTP.client. Okay, so the argument type provider can't assign to the parameter type change notifier. Okay, just write context here. We have to write the context before the API provider. Context. Okay, now the error has gone. Okay, fingers crossed. I hope now it will work. Okay, I'm cleared. I have cleared the debug console demo1@gmail.com. Password is demo1. Smooth, right? So we successfully got our response, which means everything is working accordingly. Okay, this is validation. Okay, body is coming. Hooray, login success. Yeah. Let's do one more thing, which is showing snack bars. Okay, so whenever our status will be failed, so we will show a snack bar there. So we will go to our API utils file. So initially while creating the function, I already told you about the build context. For like it will be used for showing the snack bars. Okay, so my first snack bar will be for showing error. So static void show error snack bar, which will require a build context, then a message, string message. Yes. So inside this there will be a scaffold messenger dot of context show snack bar content will be text, and inside text it will be message. Cool, right? So we will provide the background color also. It will be red in colors dot red. Similar to this, we will also require a success snack bar. Color will be green, colors dot green. Easy, right? So now we will call our snack bars here. Like first for the error, then for the success. So we will write API utils dot show error snack bar. Message will be response body. Then let's go to Postman and send the request and see the error. Okay, this will be error. So response body error. You got my point, right? Response body, it will be error. And similar for the okay, like this part is very important for our entire application, as this same thing we will use again and again. Okay, so we'll go to our Chrome browser, open any browser and search for QuickType JSON to Dart. From here we will generate our models. For example, this will be for user response. This model will be purely for login response. So now we will create a new folder called models. We haven't created it already now, so we have to create models, not Dart models. So inside that our first file will be user response dot dart. Now we'll paste the response here, code here. So now after every successful login response, we will store the response data in this model. So final response, user response is equal to user response dot from JSON. Then we will pass the body. Okay, and let's try to print the email ID for your better understanding. So here will be user response dot email results. It will be results. We have only one user, so it will be 0. Then email ID. Cool. And also after every successful response, we will navigate to home screen. So I am writing navigator.push replacement material page route context and home screen. Cool. Now go to our mobile screen. Let's test this thing. We'll go to our mobile screen. Okay, first we'll try with wrong credentials. Okay, to see if our snack bar is working or not. So right now my password is wrong. Okay, we'll again write the credentials admin. Okay, login. See, our snack bar is showing. Snack bar are just for better user experience only. See, we got login successfully. Okay, in the part 1 we haven't coded the profile screen, so let's create a profile screen so that the user can able to log out himself from the app. So inside the student screens, we will create one more screen, profile screen dart, so that user can able to log out himself. No, profile screen so instead of placeholder there will be scaffold, app bar, background color, cap, green color. Yes. Okay, what else we need? We need a title also. Okay, so after clicking on the profile icon, we will navigate to profile screen. It will be context, profile screen. Easy, right? Okay, so this screen is showing up. Now we will design this profile screen. Elevation will be 0. Now leading, there will be a leading icon which will be white in color, so we will write Cupertino icons. Remove this Cupertino icons dot back. Color will be white, comma colors dot white. Yes, and we will also write the title. It will be profile text, profile. So it is not showing white in color. We will go to our app bar and copy this style from here. Okay,
remove the constant, import this app text theme. Okay, cool. So last thing which we have to do is we will show one icon also for logout. So inside actions there will be icons dot logout. Okay, so color will be white. Wrap it inside inkwell. On tab property will be there. So what will happen if someone is clicking on the logout button? It should be navigated to login screen. Yes, Cupertino, page route, context, login screen. And this color will be white. Let's give padding from the right hand side. Okay, only right. I guess 20 will be fine. Yeah. Let's log in with the same credential, admin@gmail.com, admin. Okay, validation happens. Okay, this username is, why this username is coming? It should be user email. Yes, user email. Let's try to log in again. admin@gmail.com, admin. Yeah, now this user email is showing up. There will be a more possibility that suppose our server is busy, so at that time this else part will be running. So like I'm simply getting the response in the error response, and I will show the error in the snack bar. That's it. json.decode response body. Okay, now API utils, show error. Yeah, it will be error response message. Okay, let's go to Postman and try this thing. Now similar to the login, now the same steps we have to follow for the registration or save student. So only the body and endpoint will be different. So we will copy paste the above login function and name it as register student. Register student. So for registration we require string username, then first name, all the fields which you can see in the mobile, last name, email, password, phone number, block number, the last room number.
If you want, you can try yourself first, then follow along with me. So we just need to change the endpoint and copy paste this same thing. Username will be username, email id will be email id, password, and for the student the role id will be always 2, 1 for the admin and 3 for the management staff. Last name, then phone number, room number, block. Yeah. Okay, what else we need to change? Okay, I'm removing these things. We don't require these things as we don't have any model for the registration. So final. So first of all, we will check that if response body status, you can also write status code here. Status is equal to student created successfully. Then we will perform actions like I will show the snack bars, show snack bar, status. This will be response body, then status. And I will also navigate to login screen. Navigator dot push Cupertino page route context. It will be login screen, right? So instead of response body status is equal to student created successfully, you can also write 200. Okay, so yeah. Okay, there is a second case scenario. Suppose if a student is already exist, yes. So now there is a second case. So for that we have to handle one more thing. Suppose student already exists, no? So then for that also we have to manage this if condition. So we will simply copy this, paste. Here it will be student, not 202. It will be, I guess, yes. The status will be 202 only. Now we will decode the response body. Now just we will show a snack bar. Say if our response body status code status is equal to student already exists, we can copy this from the postman, student already exists. So it will show a snack bar, API utils dot show snack bar, then message will be response body status. Now everything is fine as a return. No, there is no requirement of return, I guess. We have to pass that method as a string string question mark. Why it's saying a value type of null can't be? Okay, we have to just pass to a string question mark. It will be string question mark. Yes, now the error has gone. Now everything is fine, I guess. So let's jump to the register screen. Okay, and call this function there. So I will simply write control P register screen. Yes. So first of all, we will make an instance of API call class. Yes, here we can API call is equal to API call. Now we will search for submit button or save button. This button text is register. Okay, so if we only call we will only call our API if this form is validated. So API call dot register student, username will be username dot text, first name dot text, last name dot text, email dot text. Now password dot text. Then similarly for all other fields. Here it will be selected block, then selected room. Selected room. Yeah. So okay, let's try to run this API. Username will be demo1, demo. Why these text fields are showing same text? I guess I have not passed the right controllers. So we will go to our email. For password we have to pass the password as a controller. So and for the email it should be email. Yeah, now it's fine. Phone number will be, I'll randomly write any number. Block number will be B201, register. Okay, so student created successfully, which means our API is working. So demo1@gmail.com, password is demo. Okay, it should be demo. Yeah. Okay, so now we will go to why this back button is not working. I guess we have to wrap this widget with inkwell, and on the on tab we have to pass navigator.pop. So the very similar steps we are going to write for creating stuff also. So we'll copy paste the same thing only. So and make sure to pass the correct fields in the body. So this will be create staff. It will be username, first name, last name, then email ID. These all fields will be there. So if you can see, the role ID is 2 here. So if you want to for the maintenance, the role id will be 3. If you want to register a student, then the role id will be always 2, 1 for the admin. So 3 will be for staff. So instead of 2, here we have to pass the 3. So I think I have missed the email text field in the previous part, so let's create it now, as we require email id. So we'll copy paste the same thing, last name, email. Okay, we will assign the controller. Email is already okay there, so we have to just pass the email. Give a height spacer of 15. Yeah, and now here will be enter your email. Below that it should be email. And also now here I will show you that how to validate the email by using regex. It will check whether it is following a correct format or not for the email, as email should have @ in it, so regex will be responsible for that. So open your browser, search for bunku27 in your github account. Like username is kind of weird, isn't it? So or else you can find the regex in the description below. So copy paste the same thing, and also I will make one repository for this full project, so that if you face any problem, then you can cross verify your implementation. Okay, but just don't simply copy the code. If you want to learn, then code along with me and ask questions. If you have any questions, comment box is always open for you all. So here it will be email is required, and we will write one more condition, else if it doesn't have a match, then simply write invalid email. So email regex dot has match. If it doesn't match with our regex, then it will return us invalid email id, invalid email address. Cool, right? So now if you can see here, the invalid email address is getting printed. So if I write pankaj@gmail.com, so yes, this is accepting this thing. So similar thing we'll also do for the registration also. So we'll go to registration screen, registration, copy paste this regex, and we'll copy paste the same thing from the create staff screen, this validator thing, copy, email, then paste. Okay, it should work now. So we will again go to our API calls. So what else we need? So username, first name, last name, email id. So cross verify this request data with our postman. Role id will be 3, S2 is for student, 1 is for admin. So we'll pass this job role here. So we have to make job role and remove this room number. We'll pass the job role here. And we need to copy paste the endpoint from the postman. It will be create staff and paste the URL endpoint. Yeah, so we are good to go. So instead of this register, we'll write create staff. So if you see here, the status code is 200 and status is maintenance staff created successfully, so this will be 200. Okay, so instead of this student created successfully, we will write status code is equal to 200. Code is equal to 200. We will remove this quotes, double quotes. Yeah, and also API utils.shows network. This is okay. And instead of this login screen, we have to go to our home screen. So we will simply write home screen here. Okay. Now we don't require this second if else statement, so we'll simply remove this if 166 line till 173 line. We don't require this. Okay, now let's go to our create staff screen and call this function. So first of all, we have to create an instance of API called class. Then after validating the form, we have to call this API create staff. Username will be username.text, first name.text, last name.text, then email.text, and similarly for the other fields, phone number.text, job role.text, job role. Okay. So let's pass the username as Pankaj, first name as Parihar, last name XYZ, email ID Pankaj Parihar 123321@gmail.com, job role is hostel warden, okay. So if you see, this maintenance staff created successfully is coming, so which means our API is working fine only. So let's check in the postman whether staff is created or not. So we'll go to our all staff. So yeah, okay. So now you can see the home screen's create issue card. So we basically require users information which we are already getting in the login API response, right? And also earlier we have created a user model. So based on that, we will fill this data, this user information. So first I will write static string email, which will be empty,
and we will create some variables, room block number, and do this part properly. First name, last, phone number, this will be role ID. Role ID is a type of int. That's it, I guess. So after, now we have to fill this data whenever a user login successfully. So after this print user email, this user email 42 line. So after that, we will fill this data, API utils dot email is equal to user response dot result email ID. Yeah. So if you see the response, we are getting the data here. So based on the response, we are filling this user's information. It would be room number, post. Similarly, we have to do for the other fields also. Username, first name, last name, then role ID. Role ID. Role ID can't be insert. It should be role ID dot role ID. Yes. So let's try to save a student. Then with the same credential, let's try to log in. Okay. So our user is created successfully. So now first we have to do is we have to log out first. So first we will log out. Okay, so I'm logging out, and now we will log in with the same credentials, pankaj@gmail.com, password. Okay. And now we'll go to our create issue screen and we'll make changes according to the particular user, as now the data is static, right? So here we will write API utils dot room number. See, 102 is showing up there. Like data is showing over there, which means data is coming from the API response. Easy, right? It should be room number, block number, then API utils dot block number, then our email ID, which will be API utils. Yeah. So if you can see, our data is fetched from the login response. Phone number will be okay. Then this issue we have to select from the drop down. So till now we haven't coded our create issue API, so let's create that first. So we will copy paste. First we will go to this Postman and we'll see what all things we require for creating an issue. Issue student, okay, student ID. So copy paste this same thing. Create an issue. We will require build context, room number, block number, we don't require first name and last name, block number, then our email ID which is already there. So issue, comment which will be students comment, and rest all things we can neglect. Okay, we'll copy the body from Postman. So for room number we can write room number, block will be block number, issue will be issue. So if you can see, we are doing the same steps again and again. So try to write the code first by yourself, and if you face any difficulties then you can proceed with the video. Email. This will be fine, I guess. Yeah. So we'll copy paste the endpoint, maintenance create issue. We'll name it as create issue. Now we'll do the same thing again. We'll follow the same steps again. We'll call first we'll make instance of API call class. First we will go to our create issue screen, create issue screen. Now what we have to do is create an instance of API call class. API call dot API call dot API utils dot room number. Yes. Issue will be selected issue, which is not nullable, I guess. No, this will be not nullable. So we'll simply write the explanation there. This will be API utils dot email. Then comment will be comment dot text. Phone number will be API utils dot phone number. Okay, so let's create an issue first. So I'm facing the issue with water. leakage. Okay, so now let's see whether our issue is getting created or not. Fetch issues. So if you can see, our issue is getting created. This leakage 28th line. Yes, smooth, it's working. So next step is that we have to replace the static data with our actual data. So we'll search for Pankaj. So now it should be user's first name and last name. So API utils dot first name. We'll write first name, not as a username. Similarly, we have to write for last name. API utils dot last. Copy paste the same thing. It will be last name. Give a space between them. So space. Okay, so now let's log in with the admin credentials. Yes, we have to first initialize this room number, API room number, and block number will be API block number. Yeah. So let's try to log in with the admin credentials first. admin@gmail.com, admin, login. So this render flow error is coming, so to remove this, we'll simply wrap up our text with a sized box and assign a particular width 200. Okay, let's try to write the width as 180. Okay, so suppose our text is getting overflow. First we will write is that this max line will be 1. So suppose our text is getting overflow, then we will make the text as text overflow dot ellipsis. So it will show 3 dots if it's crossing the required width. So yes, you can see that. Easy, right? Now what else is remaining? We have already seen the post request, so now it's time to dive into the get request. So we will go to this API provider file and copy paste the same thing and name it as get response. So for the get request we don't need any body, so I'm removing this body and will completely remove this 44th line. And for the client we will simply write this get, because this is a get request. Rest is fine. Okay, now as we have created our get response, let's explore each and every categories. First we will look into the room availability screen. So the same step we have to follow for creating a model. Go to your browser and search for QuickType JSON to Dart and copy paste the response. So QuickType and copy paste the response here, not here, in the description, yes, and name it as room availability model. Yeah. So copy this code. So and create one more file inside the models folder. It will be room availability model. Room availability model dot. Yes. We'll go to our room availability screen. So write along with me. Now write a room availability model. Yeah. Initially it will be null, and after fetching through the get response we will fill this room availability model. Future void fetch room availability. So this room availability model will be very helpful for us to showing the data on the screen. So first of all we have to access the API provider, final API provider, because recently we have created get response there. So provider dot of context, it will be a type of API provider, and set listen to false. Yes. Now the next step will be final room availability is equal to await API provider dot. Now this is a get response, so we will write get API provider dot get response. So what we require, okay, so copy the endpoint from the Postman. Go to Postman. We will copy this endpoint room get rooms available and paste this endpoint in the API utils file. Okay. Name will be room availability. Here it will be API utils room availability. Okay. So same step which we have already implemented many times, that will write a if condition and decode the data if status code is 200. So room availability dot status code, if it is 200, then we will decode this data, decode this response. Okay, final map of string comma dynamic, it will be room is equal to JSON dot decode, then room availability dot body. Okay, so fill the room availability model here. So it will be room availability model dot from JSON room. Okay, so now what we have to do is okay, now cut this list view builder. We will call this list view builder later. Okay, so first we will remove this column and cut this list view builder.
So first step is we write the future builder and call the above room availability function. If you don't want to write the future builder, then you can also go with the init state. But for me now future builder will be more secure way than the init state, as we can handle the errors properly, and the data is in the waiting state, so at that time we can show the circular progress indicator also, so which will indicate that hey wait, our data is loading. So snapshot dot if connection state is equal to waiting, so we will simply return circular progress indicator in the center. Yeah, semicolon is missing. So next we will write else if snapshot not context snapshot dot connection state, or we will remove this and we'll write dot has error. Then we will simply return in the center child text no room, no available room. Or else we can write no availability. I will remove this availability. Else, so suppose if our room model is null, so if room availability model is equal to null, which means there is no data, like there is no room occupancy. So at that time actually I think if our model is null, then we can show the no availability text there, and if it has any error, then we can simply write error text error then snapshot dot error. Yes, now it is fine. And if our room availability model is not null, then we will simply show the list view builder. Copy paste this list view builder. So I missed the list view builder, I guess, which I copied earlier. So let's write the code again. Yes, I missed that. We have to write the list view builder again. List view builder item builder will be context comma index. It will simply return the room card. Room card. So now as we have to show the data on the screen, so for that we have to access the model in the room card now, right? So for that we will ask for model data with the result, final result, and result is coming from the room availability model. It will be final result room. This is coming from this model. Okay, we will make this field required. Room will be our room availability model
result index. We will remove this constant and this will be not null. Okay, now let's load the data. So now if you see so we have to, yes, so if you see the console, our data is loaded successfully. Room availability, okay, but it is not visible on the screen. What's the issue? Okay, so okay, we will solve this issue later, but before that we have to make two properties, which is shrink wrap and item count. Item count will be room availability model dot result dot length. Okay, so now we will solve this error. So if you see the last line, one error is showing up there, which is double is not a subtype of type int. Okay, so if you can see the room amount, this is in the form of double, so we have to make that field as double instead of int. So we have assigned the int here, not for this, I guess for the room type. Okay, room type, and we have to make this field as double. Okay, so now you can see the magic is happening on the screen. So, and give this list view a padding of 8, yes, padding 8, yes, or else we can give the padding of 10. Yeah, so now we will remove our static data and will use the room variable for the magic, I mean for displaying the correct data. So we will go to our room number and we will write here, instead of 202 we'll write room dot room number. Yeah, remove the constant. Yeah, so room number is showing up there, 101, 102, 103 and so on. So similarly we have to do for other fields also. Block number will be room dot block number, block number, yes, block ID, block number. Then capacity will be current capacity and capacity. So capacity will be this capacity spelling is wrong. Then room dot capacity, room capacity. Okay, so 5 is showing up there. So current capacity will be room dot current capacity, I guess, room current capacity. Okay, so 0 is showing up there. Then we have to assign the type of the room. Type will be room dot room type. Okay, so we have to write room type dot, yes, room type dot room So now why this error is coming? Okay, so I guess from the backend one type is coming as null. So we will simply assign that type as sharing instead of null. Okay, so I'm writing sharing. I will write here sharing. So now the error has gone. We will write sharing instead of this empty string. Okay, sharing. Okay, a stupid me. I have to write the sharing after the room type. Yes. Yeah, now it's working. And let's write a colon before the sharing. Not here, Pankaj. Yeah, yes. So now everything is fine, I guess. So if you face any difficulties in understanding the concept, just you can write your doubts in the comment section. Also you can write about the course and how helpful this course is for you, and what kind of videos or projects you want in future. So yeah. Next screen will be student issue screen. So first of all we will log in with the student credentials, and I'm going to Postman, and we'll create a user student. Okay, now if you're wondering why I'm registering the student again and again and it is not showing the student already exists message, no. So I want to tell you that this is a simple project so that you can learn that how to integrate or implement the APIs in an app, and there is no backend video for this project. So I'm making sure whenever my server is not in use, at that time clear all the data other than the admin and room availabilities. Okay, so that the server will not get heavy for other users. So in next projects I will create a separate video for the backend also, and I will also tell you that how to deploy the data to the server. And there is one more thing, suppose you are not using the server, at that time a server will shut down and will restart after 2 minutes whenever you perform any actions. Okay, so whenever you perform any actions it will take 2 minutes to restart the server. Okay, so right now I have created one issue, so I am fetching those issues, so they are getting fetched. So we'll copy paste this same thing. So again we have to repeat the same steps. We have to go to quick start, JSON to Dart, and we'll paste the same thing, and name it as student, or yes you can use issue model. Okay, so copy the code, go to VS Code, and inside the model we can create one more model, that is issue model.dart, and paste the code. Okay, so same steps we have to repeat again and again. So I will just go to first we will go to our students issue screen. Okay, this is kind of similar to the room availabilities only. So we will copy paste this thing and paste this here. So instead of room availability it will be issue model, and similarly it will be issue model. Issue model, yes. Fetch student issues. Okay, so import this provider package. Okay, API utils dot. Okay, we have to replace the endpoint for the student fetching issues. So copy this and paste the same thing here and name it as student issues. Okay, so copy this thing and paste instead of room availability. Import the json.convert package. So here it will be issues and issue model. Yes, and rest all things are fine. Here it will be issue and issue. Yeah, cool. So similarly we have to do the same thing for the student issues also, which we have already done for room availability. So we will go to our room availability model. We will copy the future builder, this whole future builder, and we will paste the code here. And instead of this future, we will write fetch student issues. Then it will be issue model. Then it will be, I guess, issue card. Yes. Then we have to create a variable for showing the data. So we will write final result issue. Okay, so this is coming from the issue model. Okay, so make this field required, final required. Okay, so we just need to pass the issue here. So issue will be issue model dot result index. Okay, so now the same error is also coming up there. Error type, which is double, is not a subtype of int. Okay, so we have to again go to the issue model and we have to make that int as a double, which we have already done for the room availabilities. Room double. Okay, so now the error type int is not a subtype of double. Okay, I guess I have made changes to wrong fields, so I have to make changes to room type. No, so this will be double, and which I have changed earlier, that would be integer. If you see, there is a room type thing, those variables will be as a double. Now we will make the changes as this will be integers. Go downwards, there will be a room details. So in room details we have to make sure that this will be int. So I guess I have not make those fields integer, so I have to make the room details field integer, which is double right now. Yes, now the error will be gone. Yeah, Sorry for my mistake. Okay, now it is working. So now we have to show the data accordingly. Now it is a static data, so we have to show the data according to the APIs. So this username will be issue dot student details, I guess. Yes, dot username. Easy, right? So Pankaj is showing up there. So copy paste this thing. From details will be room number. So why this is coming null? Okay, if you see. Okay, so we can fetch the room number from the room details. So we will go to our screen. So it will be room details dot room number. Now this 102 is coming up. Okay, similarly for the email we will do, it will come from the student details, or you can also write from the issue dot student email id. Okay, similarly for the phone number also. So phone number we can access from the student details. Okay, so it will be issue dot student details dot phone number dot issue phone number. Okay, so now this issue is there. So now the bathroom is static as for now, so we have to write issue dot issue, I guess. Yes, issue. Okay, so water is coming up there. It will be issue dot, this tap leakage will be issue dot student comment, I guess. Yes, leakage. Now everything is fine. So next screen will be our staff display screen. We have already created and implemented functionality for create staff screen. Now we will display them. First let's see the same thing in Postman. We'll go to fetch staff, fetch all staff. Yes, all staff. So one staff is already here. We just need to show this staff on the staff display screen. So follow the same steps which we have already followed many times. So copy paste this same thing, paste this in this staff display screen, paste, and we have to create a model first, which will be staff info model. So first we will write fetch all staff, and then we will go to our Chrome browser, and we have to copy the response, and name it as staff info model. Okay, so copy the code, so we have to make one more file inside the models. It will be staff info model dot. Okay, so now here we will write staff info model semicolon. it can be nullable. Okay, so import the provider package. It will be staff info model. S will be capital. Yes. So JSON convert. Then this copy the endpoint. Save this endpoint in the API utils file. Import the provider. This will be staff info, or we can write all staffs. Paste the same thing. Okay, it will be staff. Instead of issues we will write staff info, staff. Name it as staff. Okay. So as you can see, there is no list view builder and we have not created any card for staff. So let's comment this code first. We will copy this code from grid view. We'll cut this code and comment for now. Comment it for now. Okay, yes. And copy the future builder from issue screen and paste it here. So we will copy the future builder till the list view. Okay, paste the same thing. We will uncomment this grid view code. Control X, Control V. Okay. And now we will make changes accordingly. So we have to pass one semicolon, parenthesis. Okay. Future builder padding. What else we require? Let's go up first. It will be okay. We just need to pass a parenthesis, then a curly braces. Now it will be a fetch all staffs. Then instead of issue model, we will write staff info model. Okay. So copy the staff info model and we'll make the changes accordingly. As we have to write this same thing again and again, that staff model dot result and index. So let's wrap up this thing in the staff variable itself. Okay, so now we can access those fields using staff variable. So name will be staff dot, it will be staff dot first name. So staff 1 is coming up, so the email will be staff email ID, I guess. Yes. Similar for the contact. Phone number. Okay. And there is a job role also, so we have to pass the job role as staff dot job. Okay, demo. So yeah, easy, right? So what next we have to do? Okay, let's create a staff, see whether this is working or not. So I'm making a username Pankaj Banku, then last name will be Kumar, email will be Pankaj Parihar 23@gmail.com. It will be hostel pardon. Password will be Pankaj. So maintenance staff created successfully, but now here it is showing only one. So let's check what's the problem. So if you can see the console, this is coming to only. Okay, we have to pass the item count as staff info model dot result dot length, not null. Okay, yeah, great. Everything is working now. Yes. Our next screen will be a hostel fees display screen. So there is a API fetching the student info. From this we can fetch the student all information, whether it is a issue which is raised by student or student profile data, like which we get after the login. So if you see, this is room change, there is a room charge model. So from that, which is responsible for displaying the data on the hostel fee screen, that room charge model. So simply we copy this whole response and same things we will do again. We will paste this data. Now name will be student info model. Yes. So after that we have to write the same steps in the home screen. The major change here will be that now we will call the function in the init state. So we will not use our future builder. So first we will copy paste this code. Now we will go to our home screen. Now we will copy the same function. This will be student. Now we'll copy the same function from the, I guess, issue model, issue screen, or we can copy from room availability. Okay, so copy this code. So import the provider package. It will be student data. So instead of room availability, this will be student info model. Student info model. Import the dart convert package. This will be student info. This will be student info. Yeah. So if you see, if you can clearly see that the endpoint for this URL it is asking for student email ID. So we will copy the URL till is equal to, yes, and what we'll do is we will ask the email ID as a parameter. Okay, this slash is also there. Okay, now we will ask the email ID as a parameter. So we'll write string email ID and we'll pass this email ID after the student info, API utils.student info. Here we are doing string interpolation. Okay, after this we will write $email ID. Okay, easy. So now call this function in init state. So after this line 49 we will write init state and call this fetch student data function. So here it will be init state and we will write fetch student data. So it requires a email ID, so we will just write API utils dot email. Okay, so let's log in again. gmail.com, password will be Panko. So if you can see, yes, our data is getting fetched, but there is an error which we have already faced 2 to 3 times. The same error is coming up, which is error type double is a subtype of int. So we have to go to our model, we have to make changes to room charge model. Yes, so it will be double instead of int, double. Yeah, and now we are good to go. Okay, yes, let's create an issue. Furniture chair is not there. Okay, so again the same issue, but now the issue is coming from the room details, I guess. Yes, so we will go to our model again. So here there is a field called room details. Yes, in room details there is a room type model, so that room type model we have to change as double instead of int. So room details, in that there is a room type, so we have to make sure that it is a double. Yes, so yeah, now it's totally fine. Now we have to pass this room change model data into our hostel fee screen, right? So for passing the data, we will make some fields required. So the first field will be our block number, then block number, room number, maintenance charge, maintenance charge, this M should be small, parking charge, water charge, then room charge, and lastly there will be a total amount, total charge. So make these fields required, generate constructor, remove this const. Okay, so if you see our home screen have some errors, so let's go to our home screen and fix those errors. Now here it will be a block number after the room number. So first fix this issue, so remove the constant, then so home screen is asking for block number, so write the data for particular fields, student info model dot result, it will be index, sorry, 0th, or we can write first dot student profile data, dot room block number, sorry, this is a block number. Okay, the same thing we will copy paste for the room number. As we are repeating this same step again and again, so we will wrap this thing in the student variable. Now we can access this thing from the student. Okay, now copy this thing and make it block first. After this room number will be student profile data dot room number dot toString, as it is coming as integer. Okay, so now maintenance charge will be student dot room charge model dot maintenance charge dot toString. Okay, so similarly we have to do for other fields also. This will be total charge, total amount. Okay, so instead of 201 we have to write room number. We have to restart. Okay, so maintenance charge will be maintenance charge there will be a dollar maintenance charge. Okay, this 1000 is coming up. Yes, parking charge. Next will be our parking charge, so we'll copy the same thing. This will be parking charge. So $500 is coming up. Okay. Porter charge. This will be room charge. And last one will be total charge. This will be total amount. I guess charge is there, so it will be total charge. Yeah, so 37,000 is coming up. Okay. Now if you see, our profile screen is empty. We have not designed the UI for the profile screen in part 1. So now let's check the profile page, that how it is going to look. So I log in with the same credential. It will be Pankaj. Okay. So if you see, this beautiful UI is showing up there. So okay, so let's code this screen. We'll go to our profile screen. So the very first thing which we are going to do is we will show this profile icon. So inside body we will write column children. It will take children. Then our first widget will be svg picture dot asset. Our asset name will be app constants dot profile. Yes. So we'll give the height of 180.h and width will be 180. Yeah, now it is looking good. And give some space below for the name text 10. So after this spacing we will write our name, which will be our first name and last name. So text API utils dot first name and API utils dot last name. Dot last name. And if you see, it is not coming in the center, so we will make the cross axis alignment of the column to center after this font size. Okay, so now font weight will be 700. Yes, so we will write this cross axis alignment at center. Yeah, so don't worry, it will come after some time, whenever we write more widgets. So height spacer will be 30 here. So after that, this room and block numbers are there. So this room number and block number UI we have already saw in the register screen. So we will simply copy paste the same code. Okay, so we will go to our register screen. This is a create screen. Create issue. Okay, we'll copy paste this thing. Yes. So copy this container again. One is for room number and second is for block number. So copy paste this same container and wrap this container in the expanded widget. Both the containers expanded, and give a width space of 30, I guess. 30. Okay, yeah. So if you see now, like give some space, padding to this entire column so that our widget will not look bad and sticky. Okay, so we will go to our column. We will make this entire column with the padding of, with the horizontal padding of 15. So we will wrap our column with padding. It will be horizontal, symmetric, horizontal 15. 15 will be fine. Dot w. Okay, yes, quite good. So first of all we have to write room number. So this is our first container. We have to write room number dot API utils dot room number. Okay, so if you see that after the number this dot is not there. Okay, so we will write a block number. Block, it will be block number. So API utils dot block. Okay, yeah, cool. So copy paste this same container again. So instead of block we will write email ID here. Okay, give some height of 20. Yes, and write the email ID instead of block number. So we will completely remove this thing. This will be email ID. Okay, so if you want you can pause the video and try it by yourself, and I hope you all are following and learning something from my tutorials. So now we are writing custom text field. Controller will be, we will create a controller text field, editing controller phone number is equal to text editing controller. Similarly, we will write for the username. Okay, that's it, I guess. So if you see, we will also be requiring that first name and last name, those bottom two text fields. So now these four will be fine: name, phone number, first name and last name. Okay. So for the name, we assign the controller as name. We will remove this constant. Input text. So our input hint will be API utils dot name, username. Yes. Okay. Prefix icon will be icons dot profile or person outline. Okay, yes. And same custom text field we have to repeat it again for the phone number. So copy paste this custom text field. Instead of name controller, we will write phone number, then here it will be dot phone outline will be, I guess outline will be fine for this. So we will write phone outline. Yes. So if you see, the last two custom text fields are in the row. So first we will write a row. After giving height spacer, we will write a row. Inside that row, we will copy paste this custom text field two times. Okay. So first it will be for first name, and then the second text field will be for last name. So instead of phone number, we have to write first name. We don't require any prefix icon here. So, and make this as expanded as debug console is showing some errors. So yes, now it is working, and controller will be first name, last name. Yes. API utils dot first name, it will be API utils dot last name. Yes. And give some space between these two expanded widgets. So 20 will be fine. Yes. Now the remaining thing is we have to make a button which is custom button. So after the row, we have to specify some height. 30 will be fine. After that, we will write custom button. Button text will be submit or save. So on tab will be empty for now. Okay. Okay, this profile screen is ready now. But if you see, for the admin,
We have to write a simple text, which is you are an admin. That's it. Let's see the admin screen first, admin profile screen first. Login. Admin. So if you see here, a simple text is showing up, which is you are an admin. So now here the question arises that how we are going to differentiate that whether he or she is an admin or student. So for that we have a field called role ID, right? So I told you multiple times that role ID 1 is for admin, 2 is for student and 3 is for staff. So if role ID is equal to 1, which means he is admin, he or she is admin. So for that we will require only a text, column, we require a svg icon also, and then the text. So copy paste this thing, and instead of this API utils dot first name we will write you are an admin. You are an admin. Easy, right? And cross axis alignment will be cross axis alignment dot center. So it is not coming in the center, so we will wrap this svg picture dot asset with align widget. Wrap this thing with the align widget. Now alignment will be alignment dot center. Yes. Now everything is looking good.
So this section of the app is very important and it will be fully responsible for handling the permissions. So we will restrict some screens for the user, as user can't create a staff, like student can't create a staff. Also student can't delete or see other users request. So for that we have a field called role ID. So based on our role ID we will make some permissions or restrictions. So first I'll show you the role ID. So I'm logging with admin. So now the role ID is 1. So I've already told you many times that role ID 1 is for admin and 2 is for student. So now the role ID will be 2 here, so which means this is a student. So based on this role ID we will make some permissions or restrictions. So first of all, this is a there will be a staff member screen, staff. So for the staff members, like student can't see the staff members, so student can't delete the staff member also. So in the body we can write API role API utils dot role ID. If it is not equal to 1, then if not equal to, then a simple text will be shown to a user. Like if role ID not equal to 1, then show a text saying you don't have a permission to view this page or screen. So you don't have a permission to view this page, or you can write screen, whatever you like. Okay, so similar thing we have to do for you don't have permission, as this is an admin and we don't have any staff, so that's why the screen is empty now. So let's create a staff first. So I'm saying random. Okay, email id will be xyz@gmail.com. Hostel warden, password will be Pankaj. Random phone number, create staff. So as we have login with the admin, so we can see the screen. Suppose I'm going to log in with my student credentials, then it should show you don't have a permission to view this page. Okay, so let's try this thing. Okay, so it's working. Okay, you don't have a permission to view this page. So this same thing we have to do for the other screens also, like for creating a staff. So we are going to staff screen, so we have to paste the same code. Okay, so let's click on the create staff. So yes, this is also working. So similar thing we have to do for the change request also. Okay, like student can't see others request, right? So import this package. Yeah, you don't have a permission to view this page. So like hostel fees student can see, room availability students can see, profile section student can see. So yes.
So next section will be for displaying the room change request. So we have to log in with the admin credentials. So admin@gmail.com, admin log. Okay, so let's create a request for room change first. So current room will be we'll check what's the room number. So 201. Yes, 201. Then block number is B. So room change, yes, 201. Then to change room number 203, current block is B, and to change block is also B, and email will be pankaj@gmail.com, and change reason will be switches are not working. So as you can see, my request got submitted. Room change request has been created. So let's fetch that request. Okay, so response is getting printed. So yes. Okay, now my data is showing here. So copy the response. Like we have to do the same things which we have done already many times. So this is our room change request screen. Go to room change request screen. So first of all, go to Postman and copy this whole response. Now we will go to our Chrome browser, which will be QuickType JSON to Dart. QuickType JSON to Dart. Okay, so we have to repeat the previous steps which we have implemented. So this will be our response, and name of the class will be room change model. Okay, then copy this code. So inside models
we have to create one more file which will be room change model.dart. Yes. Rest all things will be fine. So we will go to our room change request screen. We will copy paste this same function. Okay. So room change request screen, we'll paste the code here. Okay, so instead of issue model, we can write room change model. Import the API provider package, and here it will be fetch room change requests. Import the provider package. Okay, this will be a get response. So copy the endpoint from the postman, paste it here. So it will be student room change requests. Okay, so simply we have to call this variable here API utils dot student room change request. Okay, so here it will be room change model. Now room change model. Okay, so instead of issues we will write request dot status code 200. Yeah, now everything is fine, I guess. Okay, so for displaying the data and for getting the data, we want a future builder. So let's copy the future builder from one of our previous screens. We will go to our issue screen. We will copy this future builder. Copy. Sorry. Room change request screen and copy paste the. Okay, and we have to replace the above list view builder with this list view builder. So instead of issue model, it will be room change model, and future function will be fetch room change requests. Okay, now everything is fine. So for displaying the data, we need a variable. So it will be final result requests. Make this field final. Now it is asking for request, so it will be room change model dot result dot index. It will be not nullable. Okay, so let's display the data according to the API response. You just need to refresh the screen. Okay, why this error is coming? Okay, I guess we have not write the item count. Yes, so we have to replace it with the room change model dot result dot length. Yes, So one data is coming. So we have to display the correct data. Now the data is static. So instead of Pankaj Parihar, we have to write actual student's name, like who have created the room change request. So it will be request dot student details dot first last name. Yes. So if you see, the name is changed to Pankaj then Par. Okay. So this will be username. So changes are taking place. Okay. And current block will be request. So we will remove this B from here. It will be request dot current block, and similar to this we will write our current room. Room number. Dot student details dot email id. Phone number will be request dot student details dot phone number. Remove this email id dot phone number. Okay. So yes, so now we have to write this asked for data also. So block will be remove the student details dot to change block, to change block. And similar to this we will also write for the room. So it will be request dot to change room number. Okay. So last thing which we have to change is reason. So for the reason we have to write request dot change reason. Yeah. So I guess everything is fine now. So yes. So recently we saw the room change request, and previously we created our room request from the postman. So let's go to implement the room change functionality so student can make the request for room change from the app itself. So this is our room change request post API call. So we require these things. So this will be our room change request screen. So let's code this screen. So we will go to our student screens and we will make one more file which will be change room request screen. Okay, change room screen and stateful change room screen. Okay. This screen will be responsible for creating a room change request. Okay, so
this screen will be similar to our registration screen, so we will copy paste this block option and room option A and room option B data. It will be useful for showing the drop downs. So we will be requiring this selected block and selected room. And we require a text editing controller called reason is equal to text editing controller, so that student can write reason for changing room. So let's dispose this reason dot dispose, so there will be no memory leakage. Okay, let's write scaffold here, and inside scaffold first will be our app bar. We can access the app bar from the build app bar, and title will be change room. So we will go to our room availability screen. Now we will search for available. So if the text is showing available, which means okay, so suppose if the capacity is 0, okay, the room current capacity is 0, which means there is a capacity for adding new students. Okay, so if capacity will be equal to 5, which means it is already occupied by 5 students, so there is no capacity. So that's why we are writing this room current capacity. If it is equal to 5, which means there is no capacity, that's why we are writing there unavailable. Okay, so if room capacity is less than 5, which can be 4 3 2 1, so at that time we can navigate the screen to room change screen. Okay, so student can create a request for room change, so it will be navigator.push Cupertino page route context, then it will be room change room, I guess change room request was the screen name. Let's see what was the name of the screen. So it is yes, change room screen. So we'll copy this class name, okay, screen, and import this. Okay, so let's try to navigate. So I'm clicking on the available button. So yes, so let's design the screen. So have you understood the available and unavailable things? Suppose if capacity is 0, which means there is a capacity for adding new student. If it is equal to 5, then no occupancy is there. Okay, so we'll copy the code from the profile screen, as both the UIs are similar. So we'll copy this row. Okay, yes, and we will paste this same in our change room screen. Okay, so let's import the packages. Okay, Yeah, so this room data is showing up, which is room number and block number. Text will be current room, block and room number, room and block number, and block number. Okay, so yeah, okay, let's write some style for this. So comma style, text style, font size, font weight will be 700, then font size will be 16.sp. Remove the constant. Okay, yes, this is looking nice, but we have to align it to start. Okay, let's give some padding from the top and from the horizontal view. So we will wrap this column with padding, and symmetric horizontal will be 15.w and vertical will be yes, we can also specify the vertical. Horizontal vertical will be 10, I guess. Yes, 20. So also give some space between this current room and block numbers. So we will give height spacer 10. So yes, now it is looking good. So now here we have to write the drop down. So we will copy the drop down from register screen. So we will go to first we will go to our register screen. Let's write this text here, which will be current shift. I guess shift will be there. Height 10, and this will be shift 2, room and block number. Okay, yeah, this will be fine. So we will go to our register screen. We will copy the drop down code from here. Yes, this row will be fine, I guess. Yes, copy this row, container row. Okay, this will be container. Okay, till this we have to copy. Yes, so go to our change room screen and paste this full code here. So yeah, now this block number and room number is showing up. So shift to room number and block number. So select a block. Okay, so now next step will be our text editing control. Also right here, the we have already written current room and block number, so we have to write first the block number and then the room number. Okay, so you have to make some changes for that also. So yes, current block and room number, now it is fine, similar to the shift to block and room number. Yes, it will be 10. Yes, so the last thing which is left now is
we will create a custom text field. So we will create a custom text field. After this row, custom text field, this text field will be responsible for the reason, like what is the reason to change the room. So input hint will be a reason, write your reason. Okay, so above this we will copy one text and we will replace this shift to block with a reason for change. Okay, give some height of 10, around 20. Okay, yes, this will be fine. Height space, here we will write 10. Okay, so yeah, last thing is we have to make a custom button also. So we have to write custom button button text will be submit, as we are submitting a request on time, will be null for now. So just now we have created our room change request screen. So let's log in with our student data, credentials, login. Click on available. So let's go to Postman and see what all things we require. So room change, it will be change request, yes, this one. So we will go to our API calls class file, we will copy paste this create an issue code and write this function name as room change requests, and what all things we required is to change number first, build context will be there, then after this remove this whole code, change room number, and this will be change block number, and this will be reason. Okay, so we require these three things only, as we can write current room number as API utils dot room number. So no need to ask the current room number from the function. So API utils dot room number, to change room number will be change room number, this current block will be API utils dot block number, to change block will be change block number, and similarly for student email ID it will be block number, and API utils dot email ID. Okay, so reason will be reason. Okay, now copy this endpoint, we'll go to our API utils file, we will create one variable which will be room change request, paste the URL here. Okay, room change request. Okay, and rest all things are fine, I guess. Status go to entered, home screen, yes. So let's go to our change room screen and create an instance of API call class. API call this API call method after the submit, in the submit. So API call dot room change request context, and this selected room will be there and selected block will be there. Then reason will be reason dot text. This is our reason controller dot text. Okay, so rest all things are fine, I guess. So let's try that it is working or not. So block number will be B and room number will be 202. Reason for changes nothing, no problem. Okay, simply we have to change the room. As this is our application, we can do whatever we want to do. So room change request has been created. So let's, okay, we don't have permission, so let's log in with our admin credentials. Logout admin@gmail.com admin login. So change request. So yes, now this is showing our request. So our issue is submitted successfully. So next part we have to do is that we have already made this staff screen. So this staff is visible here, but we don't have a permission to delete this staff. So admin can delete this stuff, but we have to create the API call for the deleting the stuff. So first we will go to our API provider file, then we will make one more request which will be delete request. So it will be a delete response. So it will require an endpoint and header, yes. So this HTTP client will be .delete. Rest all things are fine, I guess. So copy this delete response and simply we will go to our API calls file. So if you can see this delete API, so we require a staff2@gmail. Okay, so we require a email ID of a staff. So okay, so for deleting the staff we require an email ID of that particular staff. Okay, so we will copy paste the URL first. This URL will be delete staff. Okay, so we will go to our API calls and let's copy paste this. Let's make a function void delete staff So it will require a build context, then a string email ID. So from this email ID we can delete that particular staff. So first we will write this final API provider line, copy paste this something. We don't require any request data, so we will simply remove this code. Now next thing we have to copy, that is response, which will be equal to API provider dot delete response. This will be API utils dot delete staff. We don't require a body, so let's remove this body. Okay. Now let's copy this if else statement. So let's copy this statement from 251 line, from line number 251. Yes. So if response dot status code is equal to 200, so if it is a success, so we have to show the snack bar, that's it, and navigate it to the home screen. So we will go to our staff display screen. We will create an instance of API call. API call is equal to API call. So we have to call that delete staff function here. So yes, this is a delete button. So API call dot delete staff. So email ID will be staff, I guess. Yes, this will be staff dot email ID. Okay. So it will be staff dot email ID. Now rest all things are fine. So let's delete the stuff. So internal server error is coming. What's the issue? So if you see our API utils file, API utils, we have to remove this staff2@gmail.com, as we are taking this in a parameter. So we have already asked for the email ID, which we have to delete. So after this delete staff, we have to assign this email ID also. So after this API utils dot delete staff, we will write email ID. Email ID. String interpolation will be there. Okay. So now let's delete the staff. Not found. Now also there is some error. Okay, there is a empty space there, so we have to remove that empty space. Not here, we have to go to our API calls file, API calls. So here there is an extra space, we have to remove this extra space and delete this staff now. So maintenance staff deleted successfully.
Now we have the room change request, and admin can able to approve or reject this room change request. So that functionality we have to code now. Okay, so So if admin is approving this request, then he or she has to pass approved in the body, otherwise he has to pass rejected. So let's see the same discussed thing in the postman. So we will go to our postman. So this is approve or reject. So here if you see, in the body we need room change request ID, approve or reject, then admin comment. So copy this endpoint first, go to our API utils file, it will be accept or reject, then paste the endpoint here. Okay, so now we will go to our API calls class. So this will be our body. So in that body we will be having approve or reject. So it is kind of like action, like what actually a admin wants to do, whether approve or reject. Suppose a admin wants to reject, so he has to pass rejected. Okay, so now let's go to our API calls class, API calls. So copy paste this same thing. Okay, so it will be future of string, then name of the function will be approve or reject. So what all things we required, first will be build context. Okay, next admin comment, then action, then the ID. This will be a request ID. So yeah, so here we have to write API utils dot accept or reject. This will be a post response, post request. So now I guess rest all things are fine. So yeah, we will go to our room change request screen. Room change request. Okay, so we have to repeat our same steps. So first of all, for the reject, first of all we have to create an instance of API call class. So we will go to our request card. After this build, we have to write API call is equal to API call. Okay, so now reject, so we have to write API call dot approve or approve or reject context admin comment. So admin comment we will write rejected only. So you can also do one thing, that you create a text editing controller and ask the admin to write some comments and pass the same controller.text to this admin comment. For now I am just passing the rejected. Okay, but you can do this thing. So the same I will pass for action. So you copy this rejected and pass the rejected, and request ID will be
request dot room change request id. Yes, right, semicolon, error has gone. Okay, let's, as this is our okay, we have to write for the approve also. So API call, just we have to change approved. Yeah, so this is our first request, so let's approve this request. Okay, so yes, why this error is coming? What's the issue? Let's go to our approve or reject. Okay, have you ever heard someone saying that practice makes perfect? Because I'm always here to prove them wrong, because this is a post response and I have not passed the body. God, please help me. So we will copy this request data. So we will paste this request data here. So we will require these 3 fields. So for the room change request id, it will be request id. Approve or reject, it will be action. And for the admin comment, we will write admin comment. Okay, so our body will be request data. Okay, now I guess it will be fine. Okay, let's hope for the best, and I'm approving the request. So room change request has been approved. Wow, but why it is not getting navigated to home screen, and also no snack bar is appearing here? So what's the issue? Let's see. Now this status code is 200 only. So what's the issue? Response body status code. So if you see the 318th line, so sorry, 359, we have to write 202. Okay, so now room change request has been approved. So now we have to write the code for closing a student issue. So now the issue is empty as there is no issue. So we will go to our postman, this close issue. So we require 2 things. First is issue id, then there is staff comment. So just copy paste this approve or reject code, copy paste. So this will be close and issue. Okay, so build context will be there, string staff comment will be there, then there is a issue id. Okay, so we'll copy paste this same thing. So instead of request id, we will write issue id. So there will be issue id. Okay, so staff comment will be staff comment. Rest all things are fine, just we have to copy the endpoint. This will be close issue. So copy the endpoint from the postman, paste this endpoint, make this as close and issue. Okay, it will be API utils dot close an issue, and rest all things are fine, I guess. Close an issue. Yeah. So we will log in with our student credentials first, and we will create an issue. So pankaj@gmail.com, Pankaj login. Just create a issue. Have issue with the water and leakage. Submit. Maintenance issue has been created successfully. Log out. Go to admin page. So admin@gmail.com. Admin. As admin can only see the student issues. Oh, sorry, resolve the student issues. So we will go to our student issue screen. Issue screen. We will search for resolve text. Yes. So on the on tap of this inkwell, we will write API call. So we have to make instance of API call. So API call, API call, API call. API call dot close an issue. Staff command will be let's write resolve for now. Resolved. And issue ID will be, so issue ID will be issue it will be there. Then this issue ID will be, remove this string, empty string, and write issue dot issue ID. Okay, so yeah, let's try to resolve this issue. So maintenance issue has been closed successfully, so it is also working. Okay, so last simple thing which is remaining right now is updating student profile. So first of all, I will log in with the student credentials. Okay, so this is your assignment. I will provide you the endpoint. Just you have to note one thing, that this will be a put request. So similar to the post request, you have to make a put request in the API provider file. This is the endpoint for updating the student. You have to pass these things in the body. Okay, so this will be your assignment and it will contain the body. Just you have to make sure one thing, which is you have to make a put request instead of post. And still, if you face any problem, then do let me know in the comment section. I will help you out, and also give me a thumbs up with a completed text if you have completed this course, and do let me know your feedbacks for upcoming projects, and also which language do you prefer. And stay tuned, keep supporting, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.